Not all heroes wear capes. Sometimes they wear pink spandex. So, yeah, reports are coming back after the 39th annual Chaos Communication Congress, where a security researcher going by the handle Martha Root pulled off, in my opinion, one of the most badass hacks I've ever seen. So, check this out. Martha comes up on stage dressed as the Pink Power Ranger. But no, she wasn't there to cosplay. She was there to chew bubblegum and kick some white supremacist ass. Root's presentation titled The Heartbreak Machine proved that if you're going to build a platform to promote hate, you probably shouldn't be running WordPress and probably use a developer that knows what a SQL injection is. Here's how it went down. Root targeted a cluster of white supremacist dating and social media sites, most notably whitedate.net. Martha had infiltrated the site, ran her own AI chatbot to extract as much information as possible from the users, and then downloaded every single profile and then doxed the owner. Yeah. Bottom line, 8,000 profiles and around 100 gigabytes of data got scooped up, including images, GPS coordinates, and all sorts of other metadata. Oh no, but she wasn't done yet. We're just getting started, folks. Live on stage, she didn't just leak the data, she nuked it. She wiped all their databases clean, deleting the profiles of thousands of lonely racists looking for their trad wife soulmates. So you think that's pretty badass. It still gets better, folks. Recently, Root published okstupid.lol, where anyone can go through and see everything they didn't want you to see. So go check it out. I guess the moral of the story is, folks, that it's really hard to claim racial superiority when you're running WordPress and get pwned by a person in a pink spandex jumpsuit. So, all right, moving on to our next story. In a stunning display of corporate honesty or defeat, OpenAI has finally come clean. Prompt injection might be completely unsolvable forever. That's right. The company has basically shrugged and said, yeah, this might never go away. I don't know. It's kind of refreshing where a tech giant's not promising to fix reality in the next update, but hey, you know. Anyway, Alexander Madry, OpenAI's head of preparedness, yes, that's a real title. He admits that hijacking an AI's instructions via sneaky user prompts or hidden text on websites could be a permanent risk. These AIs are just trained to follow instructions perfectly to the letter. And, well, the internet, it's basically one giant hostile suggestion box run by a bunch of trolls. They're calling this the Atlas problem, named after their fancy AI-enabled web browser. There's a bunch of them out there like this that can do some really cool stuff like surf the web on your behalf, clicking buttons, reading your inbox, and acting just like a human without the, skepticism. So if you're considering granting access to an AI agent that can access your email, your calendars, or other sorts of sensitive information, it's worth remembering that prompt injection remains a real threat and it's not going away anytime soon. All right, our last story of the day, I literally just talked about these clowns yesterday. My favorite group of script kiddies is back in the news again. The Lapsus and Scattered Spider crews are leveling up into a full spectrum operation. Historically, their moves were pretty simple. Break in, grab access, cause havoc, and then outsource the ransomware part to other crews like Alpha Black Cat, Ransom Hub, or Keylin. Basically, they were handling the fun part and then passing off the tougher stuff to other groups for a cut of the ransom. Now, they've cut out the middleman. They'd rather keep it all instead of splitting things up like a group dinner bill. They've reportedly launched their own ransomware as a service operation called ShinySp1d3r. They're running the whole pipeline from beginning to end. Initial access, encryption, extortion, negotiation. They're doing the whole works. And the behavior is typical from what you'd see from a traditional ransomware as a service operation. Encrypting the systems, dropping the ransom note, maybe change a background, threaten the leaks, and then shove the victims into negotiations as quickly as possible, reportedly within 3 days. So yeah, stay on the lookout, folks, for ShinySp1d3r, coming to another hacked organization near you. Oh yeah, one more thing I almost forgot. Next Monday, January 19th at 6:30 p.m., I will be attending DC 940 where I'm giving a talk on hacking artificial intelligence. I'm pulling from real-world research to demonstrate how AI can be used to create polymorphic malware, bypass biometric authentication, and the grand finale, I'll show you how those prompt injection attacks I mentioned earlier can go from a simple email attachment to a total Azure cloud takeover. So again, DC 940, January 19th, 6:30 p.m. at Graffiti Pasta in Denton. I'll see you there. That about wraps up today's stories. This is Andy Thompson, signing off.